Okay, fifth graders, we're about to start talking about the genre of fantasy. And genre is a fancy way of saying a type. So a type of book we're going to read is fantasy. And the big thing about fantasy is it often has magic or things that are not real. So as we read these books, I want you to think, what's not real or what's magic in this story? So they're fiction stories, they're not real, and let's start. This first book we're going to read is The PBag Princess. And it's by Dreamscape is putting it out. That's the company. The PBag Princess by Robert Munch, illustrated or art by Michael Marchenko. Elizabeth was a beautiful princess. She lived in a castle. She had expensive princess clothes. She was going to marry a prince named Ronald. Unfortunately, a dragon smashed her castle. Smashed it, which means he destroyed it, and burned all of her clothes with his fiery breath, and he carried off Prince Ronald. The dragon looks pretty happy, doesn't he? Oh, there goes Ronald in the hands of the dragon. Elizabeth decided to chase the dragon and get Ronald back. She doesn't look very happy, does she? I think she's really mad. She looked everywhere for something to wear, but the only thing she could find was not burnt, was a paper bag. So she put on the paper bag and followed the dragon. He was easy to follow. Why do you think that is? Why was he easy to follow? Oh, because he has made a burnt area on the ground, didn't he? Because he left a trail of burnt forests and horses' bones. Finally, Elizabeth came to a cave with a large door that had a huge knocker on it. Oh, do you see the knocker over here? That's what you use to knock on the door, called a knocker. She took hold of the knocker and banged the door. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Well, a princess. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon. Come back tomorrow." I think he looks tired too, doesn't he? His eye is half closed. He slammed the door so fast that Elizabeth almost got her nose caught. Elizabeth grabbed that knocker and banged on the door again. The dragon stuck his nose out of the door and said, "Go away. I love to eat princesses, but I have already eaten a whole castle today. I am a very busy dragon." "Come back tomorrow." "Wait," shouted Elizabeth. "Is it true that you are the smartest and fiercest dragon in the whole world?" "Yes," said the dragon. "It is true," said Elizabeth. "Is it true that you can burn up 10 forests with your fiery breath?" "Oh, yes," said the dragon. And he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burnt up 50 forests. Oops. Is it true? Oh, whoops, went a little far. Oh, yes, said the dragon. And he took a huge, deep breath and breathed out so much fire that he burned up 50 forests. Fantastic, said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath and breathed out so much fire that he burned up 100 forests. Magnificent, said Elizabeth. And the dragon took another huge breath, but this time nothing came out. The dragon didn't even have enough fire left to cook a meatball. Elizabeth said, Dragon, is it true that you can fly around the world in just 10 seconds? Why, yes, said the dragon, and he jumped up and flew all the way around the world in just 10 seconds. He was very tired when he got back, but Elizabeth shouted, Fantastic! Do it again. So the dragon jumped up and flew around the whole world in just 20 seconds. A little bit more. When he got back, he was too tired to talk, and he lay down and went straight to sleep. Elizabeth whispered very softly, Hey, dragon. The dragon didn't move at all. She lifted up the dragon's ear and put her head in right inside. She shouted as loud as she could, Hey, dragon! The dragon was so tired he didn't even move. But look at who heard her. Who is that? Yeah, I think that's the prince. Elizabeth walked right over the dragon and opened the door to the cave. There was Prince Ronald. Oh my, he doesn't look very happy in this picture, does he? He's pointing at the princess. He looks mad. He looked at her and said, Elizabeth, you are a mess. Wow, that doesn't sound very nice. You smell like ashes. Your hair is all tangled. And you are wearing a dirty old paper bag. Come back when you are dressed like a real princess. That doesn't sound nice. Ronald, said Elizabeth, your clothes are really pretty, and your hair is very neat. You look like a real prince. But you are a bum. Do you know what a bum is? A bum is someone who is not nice at all. And was the prince being a bum? Was he being mean and not nice? Yeah, I think he was. I think the princess is right. Ronald is a bum. They didn't get married after all. Well, that is the end. Now, this has been a fantasy story. And how do you know that it was a fantasy story? What was in the story that made it fantasy? Yeah, a dragon. We don't have dragons in this world. That's made up. That's fantasy. And what else happened that made it fantasy? Let's look through the pictures. The princess, she used her smarts, didn't she? She was very smart and tricked that dragon. The dragon ate a whole castle. Well, that's not true, is it? Nope, I think we have had our first fantasy story, The PBag Princess. Next time we come together on Wednesday next week, we are going to talk about this book and read other books as well. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time.